Hello, I'm Prachit Ingle, and these are my teammates Ram Chaudhary and Shapir Kaderi. Today, we will share our project to deploy a static web application on the internet using just the GitHub repository URL. This will allow to simplify the process of deployment, and this video has been divided into two parts. First, the demo of our project from a user's perspective, and secondly, we'll discuss each and every part from a developer's perspective. So let's get to it.
Okay, so let's talk about how our project SwiftServe actually works. This is basically a deployment service. It allows you to deploy any React or JavaScript web application to the internet, and it gives you a custom URL which can be accessible from anywhere from the internet. So this is the front end of our project, and we are using our own service to deploy the front end of our application. So before I give you guys a live demo, I would just like to show you our Kubernetes cluster on which everything has been deployed. So this is my Google Kubernetes cluster, and here you can see if I type kget deployment, you can see that we are using a cloning server which clones your GitHub repository. We are using a building server which builds all your code files, and we are using a serving server which is a reverse proxy. And that reverse proxy is what enables you to see your website and get your URL and access that website from anywhere on the internet. We are also using MinIO to store all of your built and unbuilt code files, and we are using Redis as a queue. It is just a way for us to connect between different servers and the different deployments that we are using. So, okay, so now I'll just give you guys a live demo. So let's say, for example, I have this sorting visualizer website that I have made and I wish to deploy it on the internet. I can just go to our front end and I can paste the URL and I can click on deploy. So it will take maybe a moment to deploy, and while it's deploying, I can show you guys uh, more of the inner workings of our website, of our project. So here are the logs of the cloning server. As you can see, all of my code files have been cloned, and if I go to my building server, um, you can see that all of the all of my code files have been built, and all of these build files are being stored in my MinIO storage. Let me just Here I can see the ID. My ID is MTPWU. So if I go to my dist folder, I can see MTPWU, that all of the built code files of my React application are being stored here. So let's just go to the URL and check if I can actually access my site. As we can see, my website is being hosted, and it does not even take very long, maybe like a minute or so, that it takes between you pasting your URL onto our website and your website being hosted on the internet. Sorry. Okay, so now I'll explain the system design of our project SwiftServe. So basically, our project is a deployment service where you can just enter the URL of your GitHub repository and your website will be deployed in less than 2 minutes. Um, so our website uses three important servers to achieve this. The first one is the cloning server. This cloning server takes the URL of your GitHub repo and then clones all of your source files, and all of the files of your source code will then be stored in our MinIO S3 bucket. And after cloning, you will be responded with an ID. It is a randomly generated ID, and the same ID will be pushed to our Redis queue. Which brings me to our second most important server, which is the building server. And this building server will pop the ID from the Redis queue, and it will get all of your source code files from our MinIO S3 bucket, and then it will build all of your code files, and it will generate built code files, your index HTML, your CSS, your JavaScript, and then it will store those built source code files back into our MinIO S3 bucket. And then finally we have our third crucial server, which is the reverse proxy server. And this reverse proxy server basically takes in the URL of your website, which you get from our front end, and then redirects the user to the built source code files, the built index.html and the built code files, which are rendered on the screen. And all of these three crucial servers have been deployed to our Kubernetes cluster, our Google Kubernetes cluster. And Even our Redis and our Minayo S3 bucket is running on our Kubernetes cluster, which enables us to get these URLs which can be accessible from anywhere on the internet, which enables us to achieve deployment of these static websites. Okay, so that was our project SwiftServe. We'll provide you guys with the link to our front end in the description, and you guys can test our project out, and you can try to deploy your own JavaScript or TypeScript or any of the JavaScript framework applications. And yeah, that was the idea. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time.